things gets tough, but let's take a look at the agent select. And we are
have a bit of a problem right
what do you make of this? What do you guys make of this? The Yoru is gone.
That I don't know why my cam isn't working.
Yeah, was I trolling? Yeah.
And I'm also not sure.
I'm trolling now at this point.
Isn't this Vice? Like Vice is new?
They had a Gecko at one point, and then they moved Camel onto the Race on Fracture.
It was the Race.
Yeah, it was the Race that they were playing. So yeah, I think it's interesting that they've decided to go to the Neon, and interesting that we're seeing
and then we get
a lot
to
more
see
teams
Serial on
actually pick up the
Tail.
Neon after kickoff back
Yo, what's
into
up?
stage
What's up,
one. People are
everybody?
realizing that Neon is still a worthy pick here.
Where
but
is my
it's
camera?
actually Serial going on to the Tahoe again. I have to call him out for that because he didn't look super comfortable on it last week.
Give me a second.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with that.
I gotta put my microphone
That's on Vice. I can't
properly.
remember the last time.
He played it once.
Played it once.
What's
I don't
kind
think
of
he's not really been kind of he's not one of the people that I thought about with the Vice too much. So I'll be very interested. Like he's a smart enough player to make this work, of course. But
and if you talk about doing homework and having tendencies, then BBL should know that Nats will be on that north side. He will have an op. He will have an outlaw. So I want to see how they deal with that. But for now, it's time to welcome 2 new faces to VCT EMEA. Show some love, you guys, to Hazard and Cairo.
Thank you so much,
Yo,
Sue. Look,
Brendan
stage
Casters.
1, both of these teams know a thing or two about a roster move,
What's
so no
up?
problem adding a couple new faces
Dude,
to the caster desk.
Yeah, mate, but the big thing for me though, changing the comps about on Fracture, it's a third iteration coming through from Team Liquid on this specific map, changing out the Rage, changing out the Cypher, Vice and Neon being brought, something to be excited about on this first map.
Absolutely. You look at their performance in the lower final against Heretics, then into the grand final against Team Vitality. I felt like we saw a lot more respect shown in that instance. And this time around, well, you're already down by 1 series in the competition. You don't have too many more to play around with.
Because I've kind of forgotten how this
talking
setup
about
works.
respect, you look at BBL, the performance last week, now coming into map 1 of Fracture. What we're going to be seeing, Team Liquid talking about what they've prepared coming into this matchup. As the barriers drop, we get underway.
Finally again, Team Liquid, as they did on their previous pistol, showing that priority towards a lobby.
No way it's defaulting to
Not the instant drone. Priority towards a lobby. It's not the instant drone. Out from the Tahoe this time around, though. Serial. This player into the squad.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure how to make myself feel louder. Maybe if I just hold the microphone next to my face or something, but I'm not sure that that's going to make the audio quality sound great. Look at that Vice wall! Oh my god, they trapped Sociable in the corner. That's so funny. What a great thing to run on the pistol round.
Nice early confidence builder.
That is so funny.
That will get cut out pretty quickly by BBL.
Turn down the game audio? I mean, I could turn down the game audio as well, but I wanted to kind of increase my mic volume more so.
Back to BBL and the spike going down.
But I'll do that. I'll do that after round 1.
Spike planted.
Players, Serial and Nats have to try and get something. Arcrose still in Nats' pocket here, has it?
And you look at the split approach from both players. Loose crossfire being held. Magnum, the first point of contact as they walk in. Yampi now knows. Reintroduced back to the angle. Levin dealing the damage. It's a double kill from him that will close it off.
That's a nice shot.
BBL winning another attack side pistol on Fracture.
Really nice pistol round overall from both teams. You can see what Team Liquid are trying to do with the Vice wall and the combination with Tahoe. But then on top of that, right, it's the way that BBL were fighting back in, being proactive on this attack, knowing that they were under siege, and getting their
that should be a bit better.
Spot on.
Exactly
that should be a little bit better.
Nice boys.
Tell me if the balance of that is nicer.
Coming off the back of that previous win, and as I said before,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Better. Okay. I'm gonna try putting the microphone back on my shirt,
for another playoff run.
so that I don't have to hold it. The quality is going to be a little bit worse, obviously, because the positioning is a little bit worse, but I mean, it's more comfortable for me, so unlucky. Oh my god, Kiko has just owned them round 2. I'm sorry, it's over. It's over. You can't allow a Brimstone to just stimmied up, run at you and get 3 with the Sheriff. Now, am I going crazy here, or did I not hear those kills in my head?
I mean, right now,
like I didn't hear the.
From Camel and Kiko, the Sheriff's just
I guess maybe it's just, I don't know.
Hey, look, you can't forget this guy used to play Duelist. That was probably the last time we commentated one of his matches.
I feel like the audio was a bit off there, but it's probably my setup, to be honest. It's probably not their audio setup. Well, Team Liquid have lost the pistol round and then just immediately won it back, and now I guess we're back to BBL having no money and trying to get Loon in a position where he can do something. They're not running the same trap Vice Wall.
Stinger on 11 to try and get something going here, and already they've taken tower control.
See the pings coming through and the utility that Team Liquid have.
Oh, the game is low versus the casters on the main stream. Yeah, it does. It sounds like that on my end, but I just assumed it was something to do with my headphones. Yeah, my VFL team, now that I'm having to add more EMEA players into it, I don't like it anymore. I was looking at it yesterday when I made some adjustments to it. Like, I got rid of Superman and I put Boo in. Oh, they're running like the fucking EBS audio over the top. But my VFL team, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know who to go for in EMEA.
In the previous round, Patatek spotted, and well, he does peak solo initially.
Like, I'm looking at the EMEA teams and I'm like,
surplus to requirements, Liquid have the lead.
It's almost like too even. The groups have like 3 good teams or 3 alright teams in them at least each. So I don't know who to punt on because I don't know where the blowout games are going to be. I need some poopers in EMEA. I need some absolute shite teams to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, many will remember the fracture map against KC last time around.
The teams are going to end up with so many EMEA players and the EMEA teams play each other. Yeah, that's part of the problem, yeah. So I IGL'd Zeus again this week, even though they play against Gentle Mates, and I feel like Gentle Mates actually look pretty good. So I'm hoping Gentle Mates are fucking shit this week. Here's Camo.
Excellent from Camo. This arcade seems to be a place that BBL want to keep coming back to.
Taking quite a few risks because I think holding tower against the Tejo Breach comp is, yeah, it's a nightmare, as demonstrated in this round. He gets out.
On his head as well for a little bit of support, and those thorns, well, it's not the next patch, so they're going to last for a little longer.
But he dies immediately afterwards. Holding tower is really bold. I think it's slightly easier to do if you're not playing against a race comp, but the Breach and the Tejo themselves can just destroy the whole of tower. Yampy dies. Serial gets 3. Sorry. Okay, I understand that he salvos tower and kills Yampy, but were the others just running through the smoke, or did he get 2 at arcade? What happened there? I thought you said no more co-streams? No, I said no more Americas, Pacific, or China. I can still do EMEA. Now, having said that, actually, my call time today is in 2.5 hours. So I can only watch the first series today. Normally, I think I'm going to be able to watch both, but alas, not today. Why no more North American? Because I'm going to be working on the broadcast.
Spotted by the stealth drone. Backs onto a deeper line, but retains the control. You can see Patatek playing off the shoulder towards
Why didn't the caster say that Serial is eating them for breakfast? Now that is a good line, Cavalry Archer. I fuck with that. I don't like the oh my god, he's a serial killer. I think that one's a bit cheesy, but there's almost something funny cheesy about saying he's eating them for breakfast.
There is no second layer to this. BBL.
There's no America's games today, is there? We have rehearsals.
Shut down almost immediately. It just never gets going. Magnum, stray shots, finally connects. Now it's a 3v2, and with damage onto Camo.
TMV wants to call. I'm not going to do a call today because I'm trying to keep things super simple and basic. And also, something weird about when I was on this setup is that my mic is so much worse than other people's. That it sounds super strange when I have somebody on a call. It just makes my mic sound even shitter because it's like in comparison to their beautiful crystal clear voice. So I'm less inclined.
But they probably would have heard the sound cue there. 20 seconds.
You can just say you hate TNT. I'm trying to create some beef so that you guys are less inclined to have me butter up. You know what I mean? Like maybe if I construct some me versus TMV actually hate each other beef, you're like, it's less funny for him to be buttering my torso.
How this Vice setup is, but Team Liquid are doing really good at being dynamic.
That will make us want it
switching
more.
up this Vice utility, even though it wasn't needed in that last round. This operator as well doing God's work. BBL, yeah, they also had a player like looking through Arcade.
I need to
that Nats was able to find.
Oh, never mind.
So
let's focus on this round for now. This is an important round. BBL with another opportunity to get eco'd here. Looks like they're going to be doing something heavier. 4-1. Oh my god, that stun has just ticked so much time off. Profek, I think, was stunned there. Either he was stunned or just ran out of stun in order to hit that shot onto Camo. And Loon wasted a lot of his ult inside a stun at Tree.
And the rope under BBL's banner.
Yeah, you've got to be looking towards.
Oh, that's nice. Aggressive. I like that. They didn't actually kill the other two players in Arcade, though. They've given an opportunity here for Kiko and Serial, but they should die.
Wait for that one to come back up. Drone still available.
I mean, look at the positioning of BBL. It's surely too good. Surely you're not losing this. Surely your tower Arcade players are not going to die. Okay, they didn't get half. Pull first. Now salvos.
The first and second time of asking.
Teho ult afterwards as well. Okay, BBL have just ensured it's impossible to lose. That got way closer than it should have done, though. Serial saves the operator. T-Money, thank you for the 60 months. I'm glad I could stimulate the Sideshow economy for half a decade. Did you know that the Mali Empire used a base 60 number system? I mean, that sounds like a good idea. A base 60 number system is sensible. I mean, maybe it's a bit large,
You speak about that
but
utility. Camo felt all the while
didn't the Aztecs use a base 60 number system as well? At least for something.
To have a little more player presence right in the choke.
Yeah, BBL have discovered the cringe.
I said before, Liquid direct on previous maps of Fracture, showing disrespect against opponents. You've highlighted information for BBL now. The
little YouTube viewers.
Camo, but Magnum is there in time.
I'm opening the chat. Wait a second. I thought the BBL. Oh yeah, sorry. What am I talking about?
Loses the control, the passive control that comes through from the traps of the Cypher. You can see
all of my shit is about to lag.
The proactivity in the mid round, 1-for-1 won't suffice.
3v3 and he just rips the breach out into holes to try to buy time. Makes sense.
In doing so, but down to 55, all it's done is bought time for the rotation.
Yeah, well, the rotation's coming in, but it's Nats is heading on towards the flank.
Okay,
as well.
I now have the YouTube chat alive as well. Hello, little YouTube viewers. You're back.
Straight in. A spike can go down easy.
Alright, so now it's 2v2 post plant again. Oh my god, not a post plant. Hold up. They just walked in front of the wall instead of trying to get the plant.
They were searching for a kill to send it back in their favor. Steps heard.
Okay, well now they know where the final player is.
To claw one back. With 30 seconds left,
and then take the fight.
The wall doesn't last.
Why are BBL so reluctant to actually just plant?
Liquid will continue to restore their advantage.
I mean, it is a bit of a weird one because you lose all information on the dish player, and like the dish player has to drop into sight at some point. So I can understand the idea there of trying to force the fight on Kiko. But when they were in the 2v2, why not have somebody plant there?
BBL coaches, they're not happy with what they're seeing.
I don't really understand why they Cosmic divided to get on site and then did this where they walk forward. The final play by Sociable makes some sense.
And so vibes are very important, as Matty has just highlighted for us, I think. Being able to turn that around and then win the following two maps to get back into the series is huge. And just as much as Anti played a big factor the previous time around, with the coaching staff that they have here now involved, you expect there to be reactions to what we've seen.
Yeah, I'm dual streaming on a laptop via restream.io. Yes.
They're changing up their setups, they're being dynamic.
D4 Fighter, thank you for the 38 months.
BBL just can't quite get a grasp on what's going on.
Do you think having agent bans would be good for the game? No.
Every single time, Team Liquid are able to trade out evenly, and on top of that, being proactive and using these.
Is that like Crunker.io? Yeah. Yep. I'm going to get accused for cheating on Restream.io if my aim is too good. How's the VFL team looking? Kind of shit. I was looking at it today and I'm like, I am going to slip down the rankings until the final week. And then in the final week, I'm going to have to get a bunch of points from the EMEA players to make this worthwhile. Because every week I have to sub out a good player for a worse EMEA player. Because I have to go based on the price. Like, I got a bunch of underpriced players, and now I just have to get a bunch of actually, like, reasonably priced players because I'm just locked into the EMEA region and not everything's as like, worthwhile. So I have to bank on just getting a bunch of good points in the final week and accelerating back up the scoreboard.
So that's probably where Team Liquid are thinking, what BBL's plan is.
I don't know why the anonymous tipper.
Just by holding over them.
Yeah, and just as soon as I said it was Prophet that you wanted to place there. Magnum is now waiting towards Dish, so BBL can come back here later.
Joey, thank you for the 5 months for adding to the buttering fund.
Taking their time though. You can see Team Liquid just a little bit worried about the spacing and what's going on, and also trying to be proactive. You can see Nat's looking towards main. Meanwhile, Kiko catches one from Arcade, but look at Prophet right now.
Do you think they can just keep pumping out new agents and still balance the game well? I mean, yeah, pretty much.
That's playing right against the smoke. Magnum now starting to fight the front lines. It's already done quite a bit of damage.
Like, at its core, all of these agents still have the same access to guns and like the same hitboxes, same movement speed. It's only the abilities that you need to balance. It's really not that difficult compared to a game like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals or Dota or League or something. It's a way easier game to balance.
Considering the time of the round, but at the end of the day, this is just turning into a death match. The BBL players looking to see what they can get. Magnum, well, he's already got his ulti, so
add Winston to Valorant. Ah, yes.
For Team Liquid.
Yes.
Without the spike in that situation as well, left over towards Arcade as the push was shut down. It feels really laboured right now for BBL, honestly.
5,000 subs for the lower half of my body being buttered. I think I did say that, yes.
What's the micro? I think the
but
macro
I mean, that's
has looked pretty decent. You're talking 2 IGLs who
unless you're literally Oilers, unless you're in charge of the Norwegian fucking state investment fund.
His qualities to lead this team, be able to frag out
I think
as well.
I'm safe.
Right now, though, it's just the players playing off of one another.
Team Liquid are going to fight over halls
it is just
with the
salvos.
They're going to get very early aggro out towards Arcade with it. Oh, and then they're going underneath. They're reading something here, but I'm not exactly sure what. Okay, Yampi killed Kiko though immediately, and now Nats is fucked. I mean, Nats is completely screwed here. He gets one, but he's getting flanked, and he dies, and now B is completely open. I don't fuck with that play unless they have an ultimate that you think is going to be in tunnel. I mean, it's not like I hate the idea of doing something aggressive, but I'd rather you did something aggressive based off information rather than just deciding to do it at the start of the round. Like, unless you know that they have Killjoy ult or you know they have Breach ult, like something huge where you have to play off-site post-plants. I don't really fuck with that game plan.
Any more than the one that he gets. Very well played from BBL, aware of the aggression. I think it comes through. Sociable's drone in the early round just to go in and identify what was going on that side of the map.
Yeah, and
I am finally in LA, Jaws, yes. Let's hang when you and Brenna free. I mean, today.
At least with a different comp that they did in series gone by. I'm thinking
I'm
of
free
that Heretics game, that
today.
game, where they were being more proactive on
I mean, I'm not free today, I have
they
rehearsals,
proven to
but
be
like
stronger
I'm
at
free
times
once
here.
rehearsals
Towards
end.
the attack spawn side, not often seeing them go for a bridge crunch.
Alright, so now, yeah, I really don't like that play because it's now knocked Team Liquid down onto an eco. BBL kept the previous rounds so close, even though they've been losing. That Liquid, they lose one round immediately down to a half-buy with 2 hero rifles.
After they respond to BBL's pressure on Dish.
Interesting to have Serial keep the hero rifle
two players there
as
ready
well.
to stop the cross.
Give that shit to Kiko, IMO.
Valuable the TP and just keeping him omnipresent, but there's only
They're
one
doing the
place you need
same
to be
push
looking
again.
Right now, and
They pushed out. Yeah. They gave it away with the clone there, not deliberately, obviously, but
Is close by.
It's the same play from Liquid. They push out Arcade, go under tunnel, and now they're going to bait the reaction into A. This round, dude, just do the same strat twice in a row, forehead. If it doesn't work one round, just do it again. I mean, they've won. They've won this round. I think the Vice ult there might have even been bad from Nats. I think it was too early. Because now they're not going into the stack. You want them to run into A, into the 3 players, into the Vice Thorns. If they've got any chance, it's here on B. I think Nats might have fucked them with the Vice ult here.
Needs to be huge.
And now they can't rotate in very nicely. Nats is too early. Serial's going to have to do something here. Oh, God. Can Yampi block anything? Oh, you're too late, bro. Oh, my God, what a kill. Oh, he caught him in the stun. Can he get a weapon anymore? He's got the Outlaw. He's actually dead to 1 Outlaw attack. Oh my God, he was late on it. He got half. This is so winnable.
He's giving away his position. He doesn't know where Sociable is. Trying to tap.
Oh my fucking God. What are those final 2 shots from Patty Tech are amazing. Those final 2 shots are amazing from Patty. God damn. Anthony Hoogie, thank you for the 3 months.
A return to form for him, something which Liquid would have been looking for. Bottom 3 for
that really is Heritage Paddy Tech. Because they nearly fucked that round up.
We need that step up from him.
They got 2 early picks and nearly beefed a 5v3.
Just got being able to fight their way back into the round. And remember, that was a 2 versus 1 as well. Once the spike goes down, I'm just not thinking about the positionings of players.
Yeah, I've listened to these casters a lot, and well, not a lot. But I've listened to them like for quite a few hours because I've watched 2, 3, 4 other matches that they've casted recently. Oh, not recently, but within the last year.
Up against the Cypher, so we so often see him play.
And yeah, I think the Scottish guy's got a beautiful voice for casting.
And BBL once again, due to the perfect timing of Nat, are going to be heading elsewhere on the map, and the trap is set up.
Perfectly identified by the observers is that BBL just walks straight into it. The rifle of Patty just not missing. You can tell he's feeling.
But yeah, I enjoy the Scottish accent on my ears.
Well, he's got 3 more to try and contend with, and he won't even get one of them. Very well played by Liquid, and they're just extending this league.
Actually, interesting thought. Which Overwatch characters would make sense as Valorant agents? I mean, the unfortunate answer to that is none of them, because they all just have the part of Overwatch's balance was the unique weapons that you gave them. But
being denied space so many times.
Tracer's dash and recall mechanic is kind of similar to something that just put in the game like, right now.
They're going to be able to use and abuse those quick B takes, which we've seen from them before. So you need this last round.
I think
but a lot of the other ones, like Genji, for example, just doesn't make any sense, right? It wouldn't even. You can't even. There isn't anything to go for there.
I
mean, maybe Genji is like jet dash or something. Okay, the stun. Oh.
To try and set this piece up.
BBL.
Oh, no.
Bit off more than he could chew there, I think. Really good defense from Team Liquid.
Serial spamming back through BBL's own cage. And even with the
yeah, like the Reaper Omen stuff is pretty similar as well. They have a character with nades a bit, I mean, like a little bit like Junkrat, but
the good
not
thing
exactly.
For BBL, they always find
Genji
a way to
deflect.
fight back into rounds.
Dude,
and look at Camel
that would be fucking crazy, actually. Wait, can you imagine if they put Genji deflect into this game? So if you got shot, you could redirect the bullet back to your opponent. Wait, that would actually be unbelievably fun. Or funny. Isn't that ISO Shield? No. It's a more busted version of ISO Shield, where you can't shoot your opponent, but you can redirect bullets that they shoot back at them.
Magnum 1 versus 3, a clutch which you could not see happening. How many times have we said that so far this half? It is a dominant start from Liquid.
Genji reflect against utility as well.
Just not having the control that we
I mean,
expect on the attack,
that'd be funny.
Now as Liquid start to move onto their attack,
as long as they never add D.Va into this game, having some kind of, you know, defense matrix that just gets rid of util, I think is bad for the game, because it's almost always just extremely powerful. Oh shit. I don't have a commercial button, so I'm gonna have to run them manually. Hold up. I specifically want 50% audio. Yeah, I don't like trophy systems. I think they almost always just make games more boring, because they're super powerful in almost any way they've been designed in every game. And you basically just press one button. There's never a skill expression component really of it. That's why I was suggesting, it was a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek suggestion, but that's why I was suggesting on Pladchat the idea that you could shoot to break more util. Because I think that's actually balanceable, because you can change the size of the hitbox, you can change the speed of the piece of utility. You know, it is actually feasible to make that a skill expression in the game as a way of countering util. Stole that idea from chat? Yeah, I did. You guys were talking about it in a previous co-stream. And I was like, honestly, I think it would make gunplay really, really powerful at the tier 1 level. Because the players are so good, they'll be able to break a shit ton of util. But I also think people would adapt around it and be able to throw out, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could swing with the salvos, expecting that your opponent is going to be crosshair placement broken to break the salvos. Like, a lot of util stops being just fire and forget, and actually becomes, we now need to swing off our utility in case they break it. Do you know what I mean? By the way, I mean, I haven't been talking about the game too much. I've been talking about it quite a bit, but like, Liquid are fucking pooing on it. They've won so many of these important swing rounds. They looked, yeah, they looked like they had the details down better than BBL.
Less of effect on them than Liquid, perhaps, but other factors at play.
What if they did an across-the-board util nerf? I mean, the reality of it is that if they did an across-the-board utility nerf, then you would just have the agents with mobility dominating again, I think. You'd have, you know, you'd have your jets and your chambers and your stuff that can take it, play on off angles, your Reynas or whatever. They'd just be fucking destroying everybody. I don't think that would be any more fun. Is it really more fun to play a game where you have no idea where your opponent's going to hold, because they can be on literally any angle in the game and just dash away after getting a kill? I don't think that's more fun. That's fully set up for the retake. Nats is going to be fighting on his lonesome in just a second. Two players. Oh, he's too good. He's too good.
I don't know how Nats does it, but he's got the Midas touch so far in this game. So much for
it's fun when you're playing Jet. Well, yeah, I'm sure it's fun when you're playing Jet. But
Liquid are hold up here, there, and everywhere. It's a crossfire that BBL walk
the game is about anticipating what your opponents are going to do, and
if not map,
playing against like playing against agents that are better when they play on off angles and then just hello, they're losing this.
This would be a 2 versus 4 if it comes off, and while Serial's bought a little bit of time.
It was halved, wasn't it? I don't think he needed to jump into the salvo.
As they stumble at the final moment.
Oh, good. Serial probably had that anyway. It was very low.
Surely not. It can't be. Unfortunately, like,
what chances would you give DRX to win in Toronto? Like decent chance? I don't know. 10%? Something like that? Right now? I don't have a clue.
Like, completely write them off.
And now I want to see straight away what
Sliggy gave them a 2%?
couple of times.
Nah, you got to put more respect on them than that. Silver Moon, thank you for the 3 months.
What if they added meta progression, like you could level up your agents outside of each game so they are more powerful in the game? Completing explosives courses for Brim so he's higher educated when you use him.
Onto Prophet to start things off, and Camo's just the bait on the end of the string. Reels in the kill eventually.
I think that's a terrible idea, Miles. I think you've overcooked and it's horrendously burnt.
For a little bit of damage, perhaps.
Silver Moon, thank you for the 3 months, though.
Yeah,
2 is generous for DRX. Are we forgetting how good DRX looked when they got to Bangkok at the beginning?
Or maybe for BBL a 52 pickup because they've got a lot of rounds to get back.
Almost all of the other good teams were looking at DRX because they thought they had the best read on the meta. And then they choked a bit in the game against T1. Ended up going home. And I feel like people have forgotten that they're actually a really fucking good team. Oh, bro, don't start this again. Uh-oh. Hotel room shit.
Which means all the more for the weapons that they bring into what will be.
Is it 2% assuming they make it, or 2% that they make it and win? Well, I mean, I don't know because that was Sliggy's number, but my 10% is already including the percentage chance they make it. I think they're very likely to make it. Maybe I'm being too bold with the 10% though, considering that they still could for sure lose out. Maybe I should have put it more towards like 5.
Stronger in their setup towards that left-hand side with the cam contact as Prophet starting to walk towards Dish.
I think they're a fucking good team.
Prelu and Devon need to hold the line, and he's done it again. TP's back to Link, and now he's safe.
He's done massive work here, getting the advantage through, but still needs to be careful about Team Liquid taking extra space.
Expect a player to be in this smoke. TP's going to cut across it. Blindside Patatech just ever so slightly. Go creeping up 2 players.
Oh, they're cooking. They're cooking. They've trapped Sociable in the corner. Wait, they've absolutely murked him. And they know that there's one on site as well, I think. And Prophet now has to scramble over towards B. In fact, Magnum has even left the site. What an insanely good mid-round call there from Team Liquid in the 2v5 or whatever the hell that was. They're actually looking like they might be able to pull this off. They don't actually know that Magnum's left the site, I don't think. Maybe they do, maybe the audio cue was there. Well, now they do. Oh, that's so lucky. That's so fucking lucky.
Down to 4 bullets though, Patty jumping
Oh, that's so fucking lucky.
Those 4 bullets make up 4 rounds.
Dude.
BBL with a lot of work left to do, and with little guns saved in this one to do it.
Talking about Fangs, Venom, it seems as if BBL might have had their next buy poisoned a little bit.
Where was this Liquid last week? Yeah, they look like they're playing a lot better today. But also, Serial looked like he was a bit nervous last week. Now he looks like he's playing better. And, dude, Paddy's just having an insane game. He won a ridiculous clutch. He's frying in the kills. He's playing Breach and he's 20-8. Like, Nats is also having an amazing game.
They like to execute out of here on a number of rounds against previous teams.
They're no crowd buff, yeah, maybe.
Nothing as of yet.
Look at the trap though that they're building up in Arcade. And Team Liquid starting to explore towards this side of the map with the spike. BBL know exactly what they want to do, and they've got Cam for contact as well.
I think if you're Liquid though, you see that deep star placed, you're expecting there
Brimalt to take some arcade control.
And so they invest the orbital strike just to clear the space.
On the south side.
But it has bought BBL.
Whoa, that's a cool stun. You see that one?
As the execute comes in.
So much utility on this site, and it's still Magnum who's come.
Hello, what? Camo, what? Sociable should have been dead to rights there. Shouldn't have had any chance to kill Nats. That's a whiff and a half there. Okay, well, Camo individually just kind of lost in that round, I think. Why is there no crowd? They don't have crowds on Wednesdays. Why? I'm not 100% sure. But I think even if they did allow a crowd, they probably wouldn't have many people here anyway. Because it's 5 PM on a Wednesday in Berlin.
with that one lost. And I mean, you look at what's left already, starting to build up some decent economy for themselves.
Yeah, it's just such a chaotic round in general. It's just about who is able to get the picks and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that, Lisboa. We just didn't talk about it really on Plaid Chat. But yeah, I've talked about it on my co-stream quite a lot.
Looking towards the rounds coming forward, what Liquid have in their back pocket. We're looking towards that Steel Garden, the fact that the Orbital Strike didn't get value in the last round. This ultimate economy.
But also, I still think it's a lack of proper conflict resolution within the team. Because I don't think a team, I don't think a player flaming out like that is
You've got to set up an end game for yourself.
Impossible to recover.
You can already see the preparation dating all the way back to the pistol and how it was.
Then again, I mean, they look. Tucci looked better without him. So.
And show to us to
why?
To
I'm not 100% sure.
I do want to touch on very quickly as well is how important experience is in these positions, not just within that team culture and getting players like Serial up to speed. You have to have players who are dependable, something which Lohan's spoken about so much, stressing the importance of it on that first
I did not see Mimi play Dress to Impress yesterday, but what I did see was a picture of what she called Cunty Sideshow. Or cunty egg, I think she said, which was me dressed up in, what do you call them, fishnet tights and a watermelon sweater.
They're probably going to be on an equal for the next.
She made a bald, mustached character with pink fishnets and a pink jumper sweater and called it Cunty Egg. Can you dress like that on broadcast? I don't think so. I also don't think it'd look good. My legs are not built for fishnets.
To try and get out of, we'll have to place down a second one. And you're still seeing BBL have control towards this dish side, and even going further and starting to go towards arcade.
Yeah, I had melons on the jumper. Yeah.
The victory was pre-written, and Nats is no better. He's fallen off a cliff. Profect, the one that pushed him.
Sacha, we got the announcement for the current map rotation in January, with them saying maps will rotate every act now. Is it concerning that we haven't heard anything regarding the next rotation? I don't think so, because the next rotation is going to come in after Toronto. So, we've still got plenty of time.
Really nice. BBL look as if
there's actually there's a long time before stage 2 begins, because there's quite a large break before and after Toronto. I think there's like a 2.5 week break before and after Toronto.
Team Liquid, they have a Steel Garden.
So there's a long time before a potential new map rotation.
Exactly that trap is going to be placed, Cairo, but I'm sure we'll find out in just a moment's time. Yeah, it seems to be a deep trip for Dish.
This is the round for Team Liquid to get back into things here. Loon has an operator over towards arcade, and it looks like that's where Kiko's headed. Show me the op. Show me the op. Observers, please.
Shot from Levin as well, as the op has been upgraded from an outlaw.
Spike not committed anywhere. No, even though it's just dropped down.
I love how active Levin is getting here. Oh, that's whiffy from Profek. He didn't even do a single point of damage to Nats. Oh my god. Dude, camo. God damn. Good breach ult.
That is all. Kiko in a clutch position yet again.
Playing to breach ult and flood there is really bold and really good from BBL. They've just knocked Team Liquid's eco again. This could end up being a close game.
That was a bit overzealous, investing 2 of your biggest ultimates in the role.
What's with the Toronto pronunciation? Is it really pronounced Toronto? Not really. People don't say Toronto. They say like Toronto. So they do the British thing of not pronouncing the second T and putting like a, what do you call it? Like a labial stop? Is that what people call it? Something like that, right? Where instead of saying water, you say water. Water. So they say like Toronto. Except not in a British accent, obviously. Toronto.
thinking though, Team Liquid, they have the Steel Garden on Nats.
A glottal stop. Oh, right. Okay. Glottal stop.
How isolated so many of these fights had been. The slow look has not best.
It could have been a labial stop.
Liquid up until this point. The timing for Levin.
Whoa.
Oh, it was A-okay.
Oh.
He ripped the TP and that was fine.
Serial taking entry contact again. Getting revenge on Levin for the operator kill in the previous round.
I need to highlight it once more, the Steel Garden. In fact, it's getting invested straight away as a way to delay BBL getting out and getting that spike down.
So hanging on to a couple more big pieces.
Kiko's going to be able to reposition here with the operator in B main.
Your concerns right now. Got to play into a retake. So often post-plant set up towards arcade. That is where BBL looking to try and go heavy.
The ult here goes crazy, because without the ult, they don't have enough smokes to really work with.
Kept on his feet, but try and send everyone else off it.
Just run behind the Cosmic Divide. Oh no, Nats. He's going to win the round for them. Patty Tech is fucking around behind this wall. That's so funny from Patty. He started in tower, he sprinted out through the open behind the wall, so then he's like safe behind the Cosmic Divide, and then he's just running around on the other side of the Cosmic Divide.
And they didn't even need to use all of them.
Yeah, I mean, from the first pick and towards the site,
Paratech's hitting some gorgeous sheriff shots.
And what they wanted to do with their ultimates, it pushes them on towards 12. A sickening round to lose, and not only that, the fact that BBL's coaching staff.
Why would BBL wall that before getting control? Because they're playing Astra, and I think they didn't have enough smoke detail.
A little bit harder to prepare for if you're not.
The Astra is just shit on this map, in my opinion. Only being able to smoke 2 choke points is a nightmare. Then again, for B retake, you actually only do need to smoke 2 things. You just need to smoke main and arcade. But I can only assume that Profec was out of smokes or something. Solo Astra feels bad on a lot of maps.
Yeah, something I'm noticing a lot with Levin's positioning as well, that he's been left alone.
I don't know. I don't think I really agree with that. I think you can play solo Astra on Haven, Ascent if you wanted to, Split. Like, are these the optimal comps to play? No, because I think I would want to be playing Astra Viper on Split, but like I think that you can do it, especially in your ranked games.
Even after the player's crossed, he doesn't want to TP out. He wants
Pearl,
to stick around and
yeah,
try and get
Pearl.
a pick. And the fact that he dies there is the problem.
Last couple times we saw Liquid start out on the
Is the caster Irish or Scottish? Scottish. Can you really not tell? It's a very large difference.
It's just before the map could be ending.
I suppose if you're not familiar with them.
Usually towards this side of the map at times, the trap
Camo's
is
been
perfectly placed.
having a rough time with things on the entry. They're doing the same thing again where they push into spawn. Oh my god, and Nats has fucking rolled them. Dude, these rounds are looking so good from Liquid where they do this kind of thing. They've tried it twice this half and it has rolled BBL both times. Previous time they won BBL because it was like a 5v2 when they started the round, but this is over. This is over.
Perhaps, but that only means anything.
Those kind of rounds are really difficult too, because it's super possible you can just get stuck with one guy rotating from B and a couple playing in the A link, and you just get crossfired and die. But
those thorns, and you can already see Nats.
Yeah, they played that really well.
Time ticking away for Levin.
Nats is the most consistent player from the start of his Valorant esports. No, I don't think so. I mean, he's been very good. Don't get me wrong, but I think putting Nats in there instead of people like Aspas or Durka, I think is a little bit off. But Nats has been great. Nats has been great. He's had a super long career. He's been extremely good for the majority of that career. Last year was a bit rough, but it wasn't because he was bad necessarily. The team he was on was kind of bad, and there were other better Sentinels.
That's main focus for today. Remember about our communication protocols, boys. Today, let's have the communication as we had yesterday, clear and calm. Let's listen for the first calls, let's follow each other, and everything will be fine.
I love the Nats speech before each game. They've shown every one of them on the broadcast, And they're just, dude, what a nice calm figure to have you leading into the game. I believe him. I believe him. Leo? Oh, well, yeah, I mean, Leo's been a fucking beast as well, but I don't think about Leo because he's not an active player at the moment, which is a sad loss for us. But yeah, for sure, like, Nats is an extremely consistent player that deserves to be in the conversation for those kind of things. But I don't think I'd put him at the top of my list. You like that opposed to a Bren rant pre-game? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I actually don't think it's great for players to be super hyped up, because I think that adrenaline can crash pretty hard if things don't go your way. And I also think that if you are relying on that like hype and adrenaline to carry you through matches, you're just getting such a different experience from match to scrim as well. Whereas if you can try to have more of a calm energy about you, I think it makes more sense that you're going to be playing similarly in your scrims and your matches. But maybe that's just my personality. Toronto sounding like Toronto isn't a case of a British glottal stop. It's assimilating the N and the T together into a nasalized alveolar tap. The linguists have arrived. Someone give them a wedgie in the chat. A nasalized alveolar tap. Brother, I don't even know what that means.
Do you think you'd play better if before every game, including scrims, your coach came and give you a hug and a kiss on the forehead?
I think that would make me uncomfortable, Miles. I don't think I'm down for a hug and a kiss on my head before every game.
1-0 in this best of 3 against
Language nerds eat pussy and y'all don't. Well, I mean, I guess, dude, me when I'm out there alveolar tapping on their labia. Me when I'm giving them the labial tap. Dude, linguists are fucking cool. I'm just joking about them being nerds, but like,
yeah, and here I think we
honestly,
before about the first kills, first deaths, and
I consume a shit ton of linguist content on TikTok or like YouTube Shorts. They fucking rip. They've always got some interesting shit.
Starting off a little bit slow.
They are nerds. They're definitely nerds, but they're the kind of nerds that you enjoy listening to.
They kind of went out of the window because they played Fracture and had a completely new comp.
They did, and the new comp looked really,
they're cool
nice
nerds
too, right? We even right out of the gate on the pistol round, Mini, we saw some cool things from Team Liquid.
Yeah, a nice little innovative pistol round strat, like almost like a concept I've never really seen before, where you use the Vice Wall to trap players into a space that they cannot escape.
Surely Mini's seen that before. We've seen other teams do that before.
Nice from Team Liquid to mix things up.
Yeah, I think
it's a cool idea.
Like we said,
who did we see do this previously? I've definitely seen people do this before. People did this on Bind. On Bind Cubby. It was actually a pretty popular play that teams would be going for, where down short on Bind you put the wall, and if they go into the cubby, you Tejo salvo them. People were doing that in like the first week of playing Vice Tejo. But I haven't seen this version of it on Fracture before.
Managed to get the pick onto Camel, which allows them to get onto site, but I mean, this is when it just gets a little bit difficult for them, because BBL, they're not really able to adapt.
Why is Sancho extra pale today? I mean, I can change it if you want. It's just the color balance.
You wanted someone else on this team to
do you have a problem?
Outside of Nats and Kiko.
Yeah, Partitech heard the call.
What do you think about geologists?
Last week he wasn't.
What do I think about geologists? I'll be honest with you, I've never thought about a geologist in my life. I feel like I've never had an interesting conversation with a geologist, but I might have never had a conversation with a geologist.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially given the
What the fuck are you all talking about? Like rocks?
To your face for the rest of the stream.
I do not have the technology
to
do that.
Nice to kind of see them come together, and of course welcome Serial into
like, are you literally, you're just
so
talking about
glad you
rocks
said
all
that.
the time?
Bounce back, the performance. Lohan said it. Serial, he was a little bit shaky, you know. He's had
Every
to
geologist I
uproot
know
his
works
life,
for
move to
big
a new
oil.
country and instantly
Yeah, I mean, that would make
thrown
sense.
onto the stage in a very high-pressure situation.
If you're big
And we
into
can see it
rocks,
from
then
the
you're going to be
stats.
big
His,
into,
first
like,
map
your
against
knowledge
Gentleman
base is going to
of
be
Split
really important for
versus his
people who want to
performance here
dig.
night and day, and this is the
And
reason
why do
we were
people
so
dig?
excited
In
about
order
it.
to access natural resources. So, yeah, that makes sense.
He openly said in that interview with you before, you know, he'd never been on boot camp before. He'd never played on a stage in front of an audience or anything like that. So I think it's really, really nice to see him kind of warm up to that stage and, you know, fit in with the team
Most
a little bit
linguists
better.
have that autistic riz. I believe it, honestly. I believe it.
He looks like Paddy with a moustache. Minnie, now you're here with us. Do you agree?
I think versus.
I came here because there was no weird, stupid shit happening on TMV's stream.
No, like,
because you weren't there, so it was just analysis. I am not the problem. When I'm alone, we've been doing analysis as well. Now, we have been talking a little bit about nerds and wedging them, but I'm not the problem.
But BBL, they are going on to their map pick. Now, you were both a little bit surprised with this.
I'm not the problem.
Why you were surprised and tell me how they can make a comeback on Haven.
I think I'm surprised because it was one of the stronger maps of Team Liquid this year. They didn't look so
Thoughts on astrology? I very rarely have thoughts on astrology.
Team Liquid have been running very similar things.
Bro, if people want to...
So BBL probably
if people want to vibe based on Capricorn being underneath Mercury's retrograde or whatever, then that's fucking chill by me. How about astronomy? How about astronomy? Is there something... No, not you, retrograde. Not you, retrograde. What about astronomy? I used to be very interested in astronomy and
mentally strong coming into this, right? Forget about what happened
like space physics shit.
You heard it there from
And
Nats
to be
well.
honest,
Listen to each other, make sure the comms are good, and just keep this up because there's a very realistic chance.
To be honest, I've just become more interested in things closer to my personal experience. I think
it feels as though they've really managed to bring the energy up and just kind of get their heads back in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. On a surface level, astronomy is very interesting. But I haven't. I'm not. Monkey Meatloaf, I'm not going to do that. It's probably some gacha shit, isn't it? But yeah, I can't say that I've found the depth in astronomy, sorry, to keep me interested. I mean, I'm sure there is huge amounts of depth, but I just found other things grabbing my attention more.
I thought they played a pretty good Haven.
Well, it looks like we are going. Kiko, I love you so much for this. He's just ditched the Omen.
All right, they're playing the 100 Thieves comp.
You can't prepare for this.
Why are they playing the Neon version of it? I don't really understand. I feel like the Yoru is better than the Neon. Why would you watch 100 Thieves play this map and think, yeah, the Neon rips?
They'll be sitting there and thinking we've prepped for a certain composition that they were expecting to come up against. So we are going to see Serial back onto that Astra. I want to see how that plays out for them.
Camo's better on Neon than Yoru? Is that true though? I feel like Camo's played a bunch of Yoru at this point.
So they should know how to play against something like
Let's have a look. Let's see what Team Liquid are up to. I think
to contain that aggression that we expect coming out.
I think the Yoru has huge reasons to want to play it on this map. On defense side, it gives you the ability to help your Cypher defend on C, like way better than the Neon does. You still have pretty good A lobby control even without the Neon stun. I mean, now that you only have one vulnerable though, the stun might be really important for controlling A lobby. Because previously, when you played Yoru ISO on this map, you had two vulnerables, so you could use one to control A lobby and you still had one available. On the attack side too though, I think the Yoru gives you huge ability to bait out defensive utility. Whereas the Neon doesn't really do that for you.
Setup, as simple as it is Nats towards the other side of the map. Previous pistol they played, he was the A player. Now, a solo C-hold.
I'm not saying I was too smart for astronomy.
Again, those traps
I'm just saying
so good for the flood
that everything that people talk about as being incredibly interesting, like all of the cool shit, is quite surface level, and then once you get into the details, it becomes less cool, I think.
How does Team Liquid get... Oh, say Team Liquid.
Whereas there are other things where the more nerdy and detailed you get, the cooler it gets. But I don't think it correlates like that in astronomy.
Worried about the positioning and perhaps the availability of Lux that Liquid have as Nats is making his way through B and towards C-Link. Such a strong position. It's what you do with it. This smoke.
They're looking for Nats. They are looking for Nats. Nats versus Yampy, IGL versus IGL. Oh, and he's missed the timing. Oh, it couldn't have been worse from Yampy. I think that's a great audio bait from Serial. I think Serial started running up C long, and Yampy turned around to get the fault line, and Nats took the timing. I think that's perfect coordination from Liquid there.
Even the paranoia, a boatload of information, and already getting the first pick.
Because this was also my experience with, to some degree, with mathematics, is that I loved maths as a kid, and then the more complicated it got, the higher level it got, the less it interested me. Because the more abstract and difficult for me to imagine in visual terms it became. And so I just lost interest with it. I did further maths at A level. But as soon as you're talking about fucking matrices and shit, I'm zoning out. Like, I did it for my A level, but I wouldn't have taken it to a degree level.
But yeah, look, well, I mean, it wouldn't be a real inauguration into EMEA without getting used to the scenery. But look, we can see the league officials are investigating.
Whereas statistics, I find statistics to be fascinating. But maybe the reason that I find statistics to be fascinating is because it has practical human applications in more direct ways than more abstract mathematics. As a maths grad, you couldn't be more wrong. I'm just speaking about my own experience. I just found it less interesting. But maybe I didn't push through that part, because somebody right above you said that it was boring at freshman and then got way more interesting again at a higher level once they did their degree. So maybe I just hit a bit of a boring patch and gave up. Anonymous Gifter, thank you for the gifted sub, the Brazilian butt lift.
Certainly think so.
Ever since I've got the complex numbers, I've been lost. No. I fuck with that stuff.
All of that counts for nothing.
But that's also, you can visualize that, I think. Can we come over? Yeah, you can actually. I have another microphone. You could share a mic if you wanted to.
Magnum's doing 360s. I don't think this is 2012. 3K though. That's left alone, the only player to buy a light shield.
Matrices are high school level though now. I mean, it depends where you get to them, but yeah, I didn't do a degree. Yes, they were high school level for me. I mean, high school in the US goes up to 18, right? So yeah, I was 18. I was 17 when I was doing that. Yeah.
Liquid players in this position. No idea how it happens, but look, here we go into the rifle round now. BBL have the anti-eco under their belt.
The most pragmatic man on earth loses interest once things become more abstract. Truly shocking.
His triple with a kill.
Yeah, I mean, I am a fairly pragmatic person, I think, yeah. But I do enjoy some abstract stuff. I think it just has to... It has to have a hook for me to hook into something pragmatic.
At least looking towards long.
Yeah, Magnum already looking to drop off towards backside. In terms of the utility, you can look at it. Placed for identifying these locks, B main and towards deep in garage.
Garage control.
There's a Team Liquid on their first rifle round here.
Doing the same here.
Just very slowly grouped up outside of C. Trying to push people back from the A line. Stun, Jet. You see 2 people. You can take this timing to exit C. Because you know that they haven't just pushed 1 player up on A, which means they haven't rotated people over to C yet. The only abstract thing about you is your hair. Holy shit.
You've got to be thinking about these backside anchors. Can they stand
oh my god.
the aggression?
Magnum hoping to find a timing into the smoke there based on the spam. Fails. Camo with 2 on the entry. Much better than he was doing on Fracture.
Sociable not looking towards what was below. Leaves the last 2 remaining players of BBL in a clutch, which, well, already is not going well.
I did.
I'm a little bit surprised that BBL didn't put a heavier price.
I think I think I'm leading you guys down the wrong path though, because I think it was vector matrices that were fucking my brain up. Is that what they were? Vector matrices?
Themes which have been repeated many times and was discussed in detail by the desk.
Or is that just the same as matrices?
Magnum goes down. It's a difficulty from that.
Dude, I can't even remember shit anymore.
I think as well that you're trying to hold on towards backside, but also fight through your own.
Dude, I don't know. I literally can't remember.
Like, get into that smoke early,
like eigenvalues and stuff. Yeah, I think it was that. Dude, I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember it fucked with my brain.
The presence on A lobby, and this time they're going to fight it early.
Kiko does have his ult up here. Chance to pull a player in, perhaps. But it's utility used on the side of Liquid instead to just take long control. Now investigating towards sewers. Patty yet to invest, but the drone
like you got IJK stuff. Yes. What the fuck was that? You're starting to bring the memories back. I remember IJK. Why do I remember IJK? And in what concept were those letters even used? I can't remember. That was vectors? Dude, what the fuck was it? I can't remember what the hell we were doing.
Thinking about saving Magnum's rifle at the very least. I mean, the money not looking great. It's always the worst thing about being on defense.
They're just directions? Nah, there was something weird about it. I can't remember, chat. I can't remember.
Camo goes chasing, and with Magnum, the last name left on the list.
If I could sit down with you, I promise I could explain all of this in actual intuitive terms. I'm sure you could. And to be honest with you, like, I did learn it. It went in, but I remember thinking, dude, this is fucking weird. And I remember learning it in a way that I'd never learned anything else in maths before, because math had always been extremely intuitive to me. And this was the first thing I ran into that was non-intuitive. And I was like, nah, fuck this shit. As a child, I mean, I was 17, but like still a child, basically. If something wasn't immediately grabbable for me, I just got rid of it.
500 IQ, Nats doesn't have a hat. It means that his brain can grow to new sizes, not restricted by the head.
I dropped physics at A level because they asked me to do coursework over the summer holidays, and I was like, nah, fuck that. So I just dropped it.
Site is where Liquid go. I mean, now people often say you never go B against the eco. They want to take some extra space, and with a double tap.
Hello, wait a second. They've gone into a crossfire in the A lane. Can Team Liquid recover this situation? They're in a 3v5 now, 3v4. Okay, but there's 2 weapons dropped in the A connector. So you have to fight the opposite side. BBL are ready for it, but they've only got pistols.
With a face check, shoulder spotted. So
okay, Yampi gets 1 but goes 1 for 1.
3 on 2, BBL with just
it's awkward, but Liquid is starting to bring it back.
Towards A-Link, the players on BBL have picked up 2 rifles to work with. This is not looking good right now for Team Liquid as they isolate the 2 players that they're working with.
But yeah, and Nats is still towards Garage, so it's only Serial fighting on site. He's separated from the man
30 seconds left.
Who is mentoring him in this team, as he said before, to lead by example. He stressed the importance.
Yeah, that's a rough one for Team Liquid, losing that anti-eco round by sliding into the B connector. It's so strange to call a B exec on an anti-eco, and they felt like they needed to take more space and got hard punished for it.
Do not go B when they're on an eco round. And BBL do so well.
Do other teams run no flash on Haven like this? 100 Thieves run a very similar comp, or even the same comp. What does Xander play on this map? Does he play Omen or does he play Astra?
Break away from that conditioning at times and go for something unexpected.
I can't remember.
But there are reasons why this is a thing, you know. And yeah, just
but anyway, they play basically the same thing.
I guess, or at least that was the trend.
He plays the Omen? Well, then I guess they have Paranoia, but it's pretty similar. Oh! Wow, Magnum can't actually get the kill there. And Sociable was one off the Brim ult, the Sova ult. Oh my god, oh my god. Camo gets a double kill with the Bucky.
BBL though, still trying to work their way back through with the 3 players that they have remaining.
This is weird, Team Liquid are going to have to fight this. Their positioning needs to take the fight at CT, but there's a smoke up from them. Oh, now because they've lost the timing, Serial has to defend Garage. I think they were too hesitant there, Team Liquid. They had to push into their own smoke. Bit of anti-synergy from Serial and the rest of the team. Now, Patty won a ridiculous 1v3 before. That recon dart's not going to help him. Big round from BBL. Huge. Back onto an eco for Liquid.
Brilliant discipline from him towards Spawn, a player who I highlighted in previous rounds for maybe being a little bit error prone, but he completely makes up for it here. Knows that Patty has to fill that gap in the smoke in front, and so he backs all the way up, estranges the final remaining player, and here Yumpy's just going to clean up the round. So really well played between the members of BBL, and now with this lead established, looking to try and build on it.
I mean, obviously Rolling Thunder using the last round, got to be thinking towards the Hunter's Fury and this one, but I mean, it's going to be used straight away.
Yeah, it's a combo with the fault line, but as soon as no tags come up, it's
Hello, Kiko takes a bit of damage there. I thought this was going to be an eco round from Liquid, actually. It's not.
Double tap is available for the ISO player. I mean, Liquid
Levin has got such a deep position on C.
As old as their strat book
off the back of the Cypher cam.
So you are expecting it if you're BBL right
but
now.
that is a bit strange because they have double info down there. They have Jet up and Cypher cam on the same angle.
Already deep information from BBL.
If Prophet gets pushed off here by a drone or gets killed, their setup looks a bit weak. Surely Yampy is not just going to swing that, is he? He's in short, just... Oh, man.
You'd think they'd be thinned out on A, but instead Prophet
Stun caught.
down to size with Serial gone, there's no smokes left.
They're not thinking about Yampy. Yampy could win this round for them.
Rallying off shots, but it's Sociable.
Why is Kiko lurking on ISO?
It's numbers BBL.
Oh, yeah, they just didn't think about Yampy at all.
Yeah, this is getting claustrophobic for Liquid because of the fact that Levin's so fast on this flank.
I don't think they're even going to be able to set up the post plant. They've got to look for kills, and with Camo finding yet another, he's got to funnel more bullets back in the magazine before he can.
What do you even do here for Liquid? Plant for spawn, even though you don't have spawn control? This is a nightmare scenario.
But Liquid have reacted well to take this space towards CT.
And they still have information items to use, right? You're looking towards this owl drone. Could even use a Hunter's Fury late into post if they need it.
Difficult position for Patty to try and...
Oh, that's a shot and a half.
Instead, it's the shots which will connect.
Oh, they thought the Magnum was still over towards CT because they'd seen him there before. Nice try from Paddy Tech. Nice try. That was just too awkward of a position for Liquid to play. Yampy's tuck into short worked so well. And also Kiko died on the lurk outside B. They're not really putting Kiko in a position to farm or carry.
Like the fact that BBL identified the garage push early doors and knew how to react to it by pushing Levin down C long, and then that alien becomes so much easier. Right now though,
Camo's entry's looking good though. Yeah, Camo's getting more value, but it's strange that Kiko isn't kind of playing off that as much.
There are quite a few strengths that you'll find on the defender side, actually. But in terms of the attack, I think, yeah, you've got to be playing Kiko like a second initiator and helping set up Camo in those instances. You only have one undercut now.
You know what,
with
actually?
the suppress that it has as well.
I think
it's such
part
an
of the problem
effective
with
tool
this...
for going for these quick executes, if that's what you want to.
Oh no, I do have a compressor on the mic.
In terms of ults, they've built a couple.
Honestly, maybe I should turn off the compressor.
Look towards that strat book, that playbook to
maybe
see
that'll be better.
what exactly it is they have prepared for us, because already
I don't know, actually.
we've seen variation from BBL.
I might be trolling with that one.
It's really nice.
Never mind.
You know, seeing the variations, etc.
Am I in LA already?
The
yes, I am.
Forward,
I am.
Like, I feel as if this is a totally new one, right? But you think towards the last map, Fracture, it was like a variation.
Yes, I am in a hotel in Los Angeles, California.
Building upon what was kind of already working, and now trying something completely new. And at the minute, it's not hitting the same.
Yeah, it's effectively
the
old Fnatic comp, but just with the adjustment of Astra coming in now that you have the 5 stars. And Mini was speaking
okay,
about
never mind. I was about to start us down a dark path, but instead, let's actually just focus on the game, because this round's super important for Liquid.
To be playing that role, because not only have you put him on a controller, which he only showed for the first time in the previous series,
trying to farm the orb.
Micro heavy, and when you're focusing on that kind of stuff, it's a lot more difficult to perform on, you know.
No, not farming the orb, just going for a C exec. Magnum pressured. Gets the kill onto Kiko. Really nicely done by Magnum.
A little distraction, a bait and switch. And it works so well. Patty not long for this world, and neither is Team Liquid. It's an end zone flawless.
Brilliant read from BBL.
I don't like that round at all.
After the timeout.
And the reason I don't like that round is that Kiko is 2 away from his ultimate. You have a free ult orb down C long, and they don't take it. They don't default at all. They just send it on C. I feel like that's just not playing to your composition strengths. The comp revolves around cycling ISO ult
Do you have a driver's license for your
and putting Kiko in a spot where he can carry. And now you're likely to get him the ultimate on this round where you're on a light bar.
What does he make of this one?
Look, he wants to stick around. Young player, likes to be aggressive.
Do I have a driver's license for your poop car? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, of course I have a driver's license. Oh, well, fuck. I mean, I guess whatever. This round they just kill everybody. This round, Liquid just decide to have 2 lurkers fight B, both win duels, fight A, both win duels, including with a Bucky. I mean, that's just a bit silly. But now Kiko's got his ult online, so they should be able to set up some kind of, like, you know, cycling going on here.
And of course, it's Liquid.
Can Team Liquid's comp retake sites? It's not really designed to retake, it's designed to flood. Now, having said that, it's better when you have the Yoru for flooding, but the Neon should still be able to flood if you get there. But I think the Omen helps for flooding, because the paranoia is super good.
It's hard to put that down to solely Levin. As you say, of course, it's one piece in the bigger puzzle. Because, as you know, he likes to create plans.
Hello, they're trying to go aggressive and fast before they get in position to use their ISO ult. They've killed Serial immediately. Here's Kiko. Grabs Levin. Yampi also taken. That's a nice... Yeah, that's a nice response from Team Liquid. So they realize that they've pushed down mid, right? So you've lost Serial, but you throw out the ISO ult, and then once one person has been removed from mid, they're not going to be able to hold all the angles, so then you swing into mid as well. This is nice from Naps too, getting ready for any kind of reaction. And now it's a 3v2.
This is going to be a serious test of whether they can become a
Does Riot pay for your travel? Yes. Yeah.
While they were able to
otherwise,
win a few retakes, 2vx
like,
previously,
I'd be shit out of luck. I'd be losing a lot of money if I had to pay for travel and accommodation.
One and done. It has to come up with the goods and then some.
Worlds apart, the 2 players, no tradability, individuality is massive.
The reveal is not going to catch him here. This is the one corner you need to clear that the reveal does not scan.
I was a little bit worried there when Patitek was jumping into the site, because the whole point of Camo running in like that is that you trade him. Patitek frolicking through the meadows on his way into the C site was a bit worrying. But all good, all good. What class do I fly in? I'm premium economy pilled.
And it comes right back to what I was saying before the round as well, how Levin
premium economy is how the whole plane should be.
call for what it is exactly that he wants.
The airlines are fucking disgraceful for trying to pack the eco seats in like sardines. Not giving everybody even enough space to have their own armrest is insanity.
I'm actually going to hang around a little bit longer. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. So important, as we stressed before.
Artists said that casters get more money than players. Is that true? I mean, I get paid more than the minimum salary, but who the hell is on the minimum salary?
Now, looking towards BBL's
I would say
what they're looking to change. Is there anything you'd immediately identify as like problem issues?
I would say it is possible that the top level casters get paid more than the median salary of players. But the reason that I can't say that for sure is because I don't know what the median salary is. I would just be guessing. And I also don't necessarily know what the top casters get paid either, though I have a much better idea of that.
Yeah, you're expecting those reactions. If you can find a way to sort of stimulate a certain area of the map to get a set response, then that's exactly what you're looking for.
No, I'm not an employee. I am an independent contractor.
I like the positioning of Magnum here as well. You look towards the kill traps on the east side. Got to be thinking of that buff that ISO got, right, with the undercut. Now,
would be the top casters. Honestly, I'm not totally sure who's getting paid the most when it comes to caster. I mean, I could tell you who gets paid most, like, well, actually, no, I could work it out, but I'm not going to do that for you.
He is held up in the heavens as it stands, though. Double kill trips down long. That's the one counter to Camo that you'd be looking for, but he gets away scot-free.
Yeah, with a first trap, there's still a second one hanging around, and still BBL have control of the site.
True blue.
Surely you're up there.
It's only 34 points of health now. Bit of mid-rounding from BBL. Sociable only able to clear the corner, but Kiko, the healthy player, happy to help out those.
But like I said, I don't know what the median player salaries are. Overwatch League released that data in 2019 or 2020 or something, and it was super cool. I wish Riot would do that.
Open arms. Kiko, last player left.
Team Liquid are really struggling against BBL's flood defense. Every time they try to hit a site, there are players flooding in. They need to be doing stuff like saving the vulnerable to hit all the players who are flooding into the site, or saving a neon stun to hit the players that are flooding in. But easier said than done when you're not even being able to hit the sites without there being 4 players on them. Honestly, that's not even a flood. That's like just stacked. They just hit a stacked site there. 7+ on defense is good. Yeah, definitely. Very good. Very, very good for BBL.
The amount of value we put on that, so really big of him.
Do you think releasing that data would have an effect on player contract negotiations?
Keeping everyone else in check, and with Levin going walkabouts in mid,
I mean, yes, but I think salary data almost always favors the workers if they're able to. So like, if you have transparent salary data, it almost always favors
walking down C, and the rest of BBL looking towards A.
The workers. Now, would it in this situation? Because the supply is so much larger than the demand. Like this, but then again, it's actually not. The supply isn't that much bigger than the demand in terms of like actually great players if an org wants to fill a specific slot or wants to win or whatever. There are a lot of players out there, but that doesn't mean that the right players out there a lot of the time.
Moving forward and doesn't realise there's a player right behind him. Trigger discipline just to make sure there's no more. And well, there you go.
I think certainly for
was wondering where we were going with that one, but Profek realizes in the end, it's
the community at large, having that information available would be incredibly fun. It would add a lot to the community.
But not without concessions.
Oh no, BBL find themselves in an advantage. You're looking towards the utility to come back in on, and there's so much to be used. BBL have been brilliant in their retake so far, but this one to find an 8th could truly separate them from Liquid heading onto the attack side.
Prophet clawing back the space towards Garage. It's Kiko out on an island, finding himself in a BBL sandwich, and he doesn't like the sound of that. Stepping back into the reveal, and when the limelight hits his face, he melts under the bright Berlin lights.
BBL rolled this. They look nice here. They look nice. I do think the Team Liquid comp. Then again, I don't think it was the neon was not a problem on the attack side. I think the calling was a bit off, maybe.
And now as they move on to the attack, this is Haven. You have to remember that we usually have that attack.
They kept getting caught by.
True in the second half.
They kept getting caught by stacks on one side of the site or the other. But yeah, there were a lot of rounds there where Yampy was, where Nats was calling for Kiko to be like lurking front B instead of using his shield to go through garage or go through A. But yeah, Kiko also didn't really get a massive ult cycle rolling, which is pretty rough. Is it true that NRG has the highest salaries in NA? I do not know that. I have heard rumors that they're very well paid on NRG, but I don't have any way to verify whether or not they are the highest paid. But the way that Overwatch League did it is that they just released data on median salaries. I'm pretty sure that's all they released was median salary. Which I think is, that's just, I think that's a positive marketing thing as well, to be honest. If you want people to take the space seriously and maybe generate some like news headlines or something, just putting out an article about median salary is, it's fun. It gets the people going and it doesn't really give away any identifying information.
Yeah, and well, we're looking for them to make good on the mistakes that they have done. As for Team Liquid, how does this comp look like on the defense, right? You're looking towards the double duelist, right? They have to be more aggressive, they have to be trying to take that space. We'll just run quickly into a tech pause though, just before we get under.
Valorant players get paid a fraction of CS2 players. I'm not sure.
More of a green man myself. Yeah,
I'm not sure how much the CS2 players are on right now. I know years ago there was a lot of reporting about salaries, but I haven't kept up with it recently.
A team which in this fixture, historically, I know we've seen changes between them. Liquid have won 5 out of the 6 meetings between the two in VCT EMEA. And I think that's sort of, that's calling to BBL's history as well, and to re-inspire the fan base that has followed.
What do you think the difference between America's and Pacific median salary is? Don't know.
Even this game, if
I had to guess, I would say that Pacific's median salary is probably pretty decent because there's
the team culture, I think, is there as well.
Quite a few organizations that historically have paid well. But, I mean, one of those was Bleed and they've gone, so maybe that drags the median back down again. I'm not really sure. I think historically EMEA has had the lowest and America's has had the highest, but I think China might well have overtaken America's. I don't know enough about VCT China salaries though. I don't really know. But I would imagine the Chinese players are paid very well.
Now trying to move into like last year now into this one.
Because there's a lot of money going on in China.
They should be up at the heights of EMEA.
The heights of any game, did you say? Yeah. I thought you also said earlier we weren't in 2012. But,
oh, thanks, man.
You know, they have history. There is legacy there, right? Yes, 25 100%. Years celebrated this year. I think a big thing for me too, when you look at
imagine all gamers.
The core of this team,
I mean, maybe some of the bottom teams are not paying the big bags, but I would imagine some of the top teams
at his age to sort of fit
are throwing out some decent cash.
And you can build around that.
Then again, I think EDG is just by far and away the biggest, most popular organization. But some of the other, you know, like Billy is owned by a pretty massive company, so. Then again, that doesn't often track one-to-one. So, who knows?
And both of those two maps also happen to be maps where he was playing an agent for the first time in his career. The third map, he top fragged, albeit they still lost, but it's that comfortability that we're talking about. That comes with time. I think they need to give him time if that's what they want to commit to, because to open up a different discussion at the same point, you're talking about a team which has a challenge as a
I wonder if Brazilian teams are getting well paid. I would imagine not as much.
Players in the server right now on both sides have come from challenges in the last
I would imagine not as much, because the Brazilian organizations, I think, have access to less venture capital funding compared to the North American teams.
What can they bring forward and how aggressive can they set up? We look towards that barrier drop.
And the bubble in North America just went crazy for so long. I'm not sure that really extended as heavily to Brazil.
Pistol could decide quite a lot, and that's different setup to what we've seen from him.
MIBR also just had a terrible roster for so long that I would be amazed if they were paying a large amount of money for it as well.
Does he want to disrespect this smoke? Nat doesn't have the right idea, and so Levin gets the opener.
Comparative buying power in Brazil? That doesn't really mean that much when you're spending the majority of your time in LA, one of the most expensive places to live on Earth. But yeah, if you're sending large amounts of your money back home or whatever, then that goes crazy for the Brazilian players.
With that second layer of Levin levied over their heads, the threat comes in from both sides. If you're Liquid, time is of the essence, and you've only got two players to digest this.
But if we're talking like purchasing power, surely Scary went absolutely fucking bonkers. And we know what Scary's salary roughly was, because he talked about it publicly on Bleed when he played in Tier 2. It was a shit ton of money, and then he's kind of like pieced to go and live in Thailand. That's like, yeah, outrageous, life-changing money.
He's the eldest rookie in VCT EMEA since partnerships began at 28. So, you know, it's not often that you can't really call him a rookie because he's been in the Turkish scene for so long, but he complements a player like Levin really well for, you know, those.
I mean, BBL are just winning this game, by the way. They won this pistol round, and now it's pretty much over.
It's 3 stingers, right? It's not something that we see typically, as well as 2 ghosts. So something different being brought through.
Like not even really an FPX buy.
Yeah, it's not even really that much of a anti-eco, right?
FPS buy, 3-person stinger. With a bit of a list. Please.
I think this buy is because they were expecting Team Liquid to force, chat.
It's an FPS game after all. Let's see if they can shoot some people.
So they still want to be able to buy in the next round. So this buy from BBL is like, it's really good if you only buy pistols, and it's really good if Team Liquid force and then BBL lose.
Maybe it's nice and more nice than you think.
So I think it's specifically to counter, like when you're up a lot of rounds and you think that your opponent's gonna force against you.
Has completely thrown me. That's double digits for BBL.
But look at the credits, Cairo. They got a lot of money to throw around here as well, with the stinger being a cheap.
Yeah, and what if you just win anyway? Easy peasy.
I mean, what do the repurchases look like? I'm seeing an Outlaw, I'm seeing a Vandal. Sorry to spoil it for all you at home. But BBL feeling pretty composed after this one. And I think the difference is this time, they won the pistol round. You're now coming into an attack side round. Some nice shots from Kiko Sheriff.
Some nice utility as well, like you saw the grab well being used as well by, I think, Team Liquid, well, it was Team Liquid because BBL don't have one, but they like to try and force players into like a bad position. Early gunfight, Levin loses out.
Camo winning that one again. Strange seeing him in action at the start of the round sometimes. He's the best closer that they have, I think. Most clutches won on Liquid is their duelist.
They're trying to flood into backside here.
He gets more and more useful.
But they don't have a smoke over towards Logs, and Camo's late because he's playing Neon, not playing Yoru. I mean, this just looks horrible. I do think the defense looks significantly worse in spots like this when you run the neon. But this is also not really because of the neon.
Already you're seeing how they're using it on that C side of the map.
Nats smokes mid-site, but there's somebody already on plat, and it's just over.
Time is a flat circle, man. Look at these entries. I mean, it's just players running out, spraying to the side. You get so quickly into position because of the movement as well, and Yampi is loving it.
No paranoia, no smoke logs.
Exactly the same point in which
no Yoru TP, so that they can actually play Nats on site. GG.
And it's where I go back to that conversation about character for both of these teams and the players that they have.
Xander plays Omen on this map? Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the Omen's slightly better, but you could also perfectly fine play
in VCT, whereas you can't
like,
say the same for BBL. I find it even interesting in this whole matchup we've got between Profek and Patatek, that a guy like him, so many people said about Profek, like he wouldn't be ready for the
I don't know. I think that playing the Neon and the Astra is just giving them so few abilities to flood back in. But they lost the majority of their rounds playing attack side because of
the resurrection of Patatek's career, I think, because he was a T1 player before.
Their bad macro, I think. They just kept hitting sites that were fully stacked.
Right, look towards B though. Look at the players ready to line up, and look at BBL close by. This could be.
I spent the majority of yesterday, Ravish, watching interviews from you and Pedro Romero and Sage Dathwin.
They'll back away. It's a gentleman's agreement.
I was interview maxing yesterday. I downloaded Pokemon Fire Red onto my phone, and I just played Pokemon whilst listening to 10 hours of interview. And other podcasts and stuff as well, but I was fucking audio information maxing yesterday.
And that's a big one to lose out. That's your Astra gone.
And that's the only player that was looking.
It's so good getting a Pokemon emulator on your phone, man. It is actually just a cheat code for wasting away the hours.
Every day of the week, but shouldn't be getting any more. It's Kiko.
Because my normal go-to is to play chess, but when you're bad at chess like me, you can't spend hours playing it.
Doubles down on the double tap and so sociable. I think you know the next words out of my mouth. Doubles up.
And then I used to play a lot of poker on my phone as well. But when you're distracted and not playing your best, that ends up costing you quite a bit of money. So I decided to play Pokemon instead.
Pokemon Infinite Fusion on it, and it may be life-ruining.
Sorry? What did you say? I just bought a Steam Deck. Oh, you put Pokemon Infinite Fusion on it. Just wait till he discovers movies? No, but you don't understand. You can't play movies at the same time as... You can't watch a movie at the same time as watching a VOD or... Well, actually, you can't play a game at the same time as watching a VOD. But the point is when you're listening to podcasts. If you're listening to podcasts or listening to interviews or something, then... Which actually quite a bit of my job doesn't involve doing that. You need something to visually stim, right? And movies don't work for that. Like, I'm not turning the audio off and watching the subtitles.
You can get caught up in these kind of things sometimes, and that's no fault of his own. It's just being thrown into this situation. Not all of that's on the player, it's on the team as well.
Going back towards
with the info maxing who was fave between us three, Ravish, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you three. Playing the interviewers against each other? That's savage.
By the same time, BBL have got the rest of the pack.
This game's completely over, by the way.
Kiko was trying to thin out the herd with the ult to help the mid push. But now the numbers are stacked against them, and this is for the map.
I appreciated you roasting EU for never casting, though. Sorry, for never streaming.
My ultimate is ready.
Do you remember January 4th?
On Kiko, and everybody knows where he is, and on top of that, he's stunned up, time's ticking away. You're expecting BBL now to take this. In fact, it's almost a BBL guarantee.
Go on, give us the Kiko ace, just to fucking delay the inevitable.
BBL are just stalling for time. They know exactly what they need to do. We're looking at Ascent here, Hazza, and what that third map holds for us.
That was a good map from.
The regional reps from Bangkok.
That's a good map from Yampi and a good map from BBL, but a pretty, I don't think it's worrying, but a pretty catastrophic loss for Liquid, because I think you need to just go back and completely change your comp. I think you could make the Neon work, but I think it would be worse than the Yoru. I'm still not seeing the vision with the Neon. And I think the overall understanding of how that comp is going to attack just looked wrong from Nats. Balatro is the perfect game to play while listening to podcasts or interviews. I don't understand the appeal with Balatro. Isn't it just a fucking number go up kind of game? I don't get it. I mean, I've never played it, but I see people playing it, and it's just number go up. Lamey32, thank you for the prime. It's not a cookie clicker. No, but it's... Okay, let me explain what I think Balatro is, having never played it before and only ever watched about 30 minutes of it. I think it's a game where you get given a bunch of cards and you have to discard some cards and you get randomly reallocated cards and you're trying to get the best poker hand in the game. And then you get like different power-ups over the course of the game. And the point is to discard the correct ones in order to have the highest chance of creating good combos, and then the combo plus the power-ups makes number go up. No? Is that not correct? It's more about the power-ups, right? You can make any hand work with the right combination of jokers. Well, what? It's a roguelike. You can make illegal hands and it involves a lot of thinking actually. Why then? The focus is on the roguelike. I don't get it. You could play one card and win because you have the correct power-ups. But aren't the power-ups themselves randomly generated? So where's the thinking component? This is all roguelikes, what? Yeah. Guess which genre I've never enjoyed or even really played that much of? Fucking roguelikes. The only roguelike I've ever played and enjoyed is Hitman, and I'm dog shit at it.
And Billy here with me. Now, we talked about how Liquid, they have an opportunity to close this out. We even saw some new stuff coming out from them, but in the end, Billy, we can now understand why they chose Haven.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't a risk at all.
I swear to God, if Liquid use Waylay on Ascent, I'm going to create a channel and go on a rant about Lev. Why Lev? Because I hate their decisions. What are you? You don't need to rant about Leviathan just because Liquid use Waylay on Ascent.
It looked a little bit one-dimensional from Team Liquid. I think that they didn't have defaults really. It felt like they were just kind of all-inning a lot. It looked like they hadn't, you know, they had a week of preparation, but it didn't seem like enough for them to.
Yeah, it looked.
No, but on
the only default they ran quite a lot was trying to get a double lurk through B, which was very strange.
Like this, but Mini, it wasn't him this time around.
No, it was the Magnum and Yampy.
Yeah.
And Profek. I love that Yampy farming here after I kind of called him out on the map.
Look at this coward being scared to play roguelikes because Lady Luck thought he was a dumb. Point and laugh at him hard.
You're the prophet. Who are you going to flame for the next one?
It's down to chat.
That's not the reason.
Oh,
That's not the reason.
Okay, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that.
If I don't owe 15 bucks, will you play Balatro? No, because I don't. I have to. After this Liquid BBL game, I need to go to work, so I can't stream any variety today. But I could play some Balatro a different day. While I'm here, I just don't get. I don't.
Yeah, I think he's just like.
I think what's going to happen is I'm not going to enjoy it. You guys are going to call me a fucking uncivilized pig for not enjoying the game of the year. And basically, I'm just going to get berated for fucking 3 hours.
And also, I love the vibes he's bringing into this team as well, and the communication you spoke of too, Mini. But let's talk about the changes on the side of Team Liquid. What was the game plan or lack of game plan you saw there? Why do you think they changed their comp to this in the space of a week?
I think they just felt that they were being prepped against.
So like a normal stream? Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
And I quite like the fact they're bringing out something new. You know, not the perfect version of the composition, but I think it's a nice attempt. But yeah, I think that they just
Kurt did tell me that I would really enjoy Balatro, and I listen, no offense to any of you in the chat, but I respect Kurt more than I respect you.
Like, how are your defaults looking? It didn't seem like they had the layers.
Yeah,
unless my wife is in the chat, in which case, hi honey, I'll be back home soon.
Didn't look super comfortable. We're used to seeing him on that flash initiator, so yeah, I think they struggled a little bit. And when I seen Kiko on the duelist, I got really excited because we know he's great whenever they have run this double.
Am I going to watch the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct? No, I don't even know what that is. I assume that's them releasing, advertising, something, the Nintendo Switch 2?
I just don't think that they fully figured out what they want to do with it, like Minnie says, with the defaults and everything, how they actually want to approach the map.
The roles might need
No, but you don't understand. I enjoy turn-based and card games. I play card games with my wife for fun. Card games are great. Turn-based games are great.
We'll see next time they play Haven here. But that is all for this map. We will be moving to us.
But I don't know.
I don't know if you guys.
I don't know that I'd enjoy Balatro.
Thought we could get this, but once upon a time, this is the only.
By card games, do you mean poker? Well, poker's the fucking tippity top of card games. Texas Hold'em is elite, but no, I enjoy Rummy. I enjoy Canasta. I enjoy what else do we play? Euchre. I enjoy Bridge. I enjoy. What else do I play quite frequently? Probably just those, mostly.
A shining light on this map on the Sentinel. So I'm looking for just a good solid ascent from both.
Yeah.
My mum plays Canasta with her lady friends. Would you like to join? Fuck yeah.
Our expectations of Levin do need to be higher because I think that he had a great performance when he first played in Kickoff.
Have you tried 3 putty? No, I have not. And I've never tried Crazy 8s either. Unless, the problem with card games is that people just call them different names even though they're exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? Like you have one game and then people call it like by 10 different names.
As one of the Turkish Jets, he just was, you know.
Gin Rummy is something that I play a lot as well. I mean, it's quite similar to Rummy, but it's a 2-player version of it.
The fan vote's saying 30% BBL, so I felt like
first game of Euchre ever played outside of the Midwest? No, people in the UK play a bit of Euchre. Not often though. But the problem with Euchre though is that it's just a worse version of Bridge. Real shit. Like Bridge is just a fantastic game, but it's too complicated for most people to bother learning.
This is his first year in Tier 1 too.
But when I want to play a game, tell me which floor you're on, we will figure out the room. Because you'll be able to hear me from outside the door. Yeah. I'm on the... I'm on the same floor as the gym.
Serial can play Initiator here too. The Deadlock, you know, he has played Deadlock here.
I'm expecting a double Sentinel.
Maybe we have something.
Yo, double Sentinel, Deadlock Cypher from Team Liquid.
Yeah, exactly.
Why the Cypher though instead of the Vice? The Vice is way better.
them. They have gone to things
okay, but BBL are running Teho Fade. Jesus Christ, what is triple initiator? Wait, holy shit. I didn't even realize. BBL are running triple initiator, Teho Fade KO with no sentinel. Oh my god, what the hell is going on here?
But looking at BBL, I really like
I mean, KO's Magnum's knife and ult is going to be really interesting.
I mean, it's a crazy match.
What the fuck is going to happen when the sides swap and Team Liquid are on attack and BBL are on defense? Defending with 3 initiators versus attacking with 2 sentinels. Like, this first half is going to be interesting. You know, a lot of thematic things for us to look at. The next half, I've got no idea. The next half is just going to be fucking... Who the hell knows?
I just know that Sliggy is probably loving this triple initiator comp right now. I can't wait to jump into this.
Sliggy's loving the triple initiator. I think Sliggy's going to be... If I had to guess what Sliggy would be talking about right now, he'd be saying, why are you not playing Vice Nats? And you would crush the triple initiator comp. But let's see. Because if your plan is to play retake against a double Senti comp, you're going to be playing retake into thorns, stuns, deadlock wall. Like, in theory, if Team Liquid were running the Vice, they could have such amazing post plants as well against the triple initiator retake. All right, fuck it, fight.
Sheriff that shut down the first 2 players.
They have double, triple Sheriff on Kiko, Serial, and Camo.
It won't continue either. These frenzies that would have been looking to
rush and the grab net
are put into the worst possible position to try and fight players here.
Nice.
Magnum baiting in with the audio.
Good round from Team Liquid.
Next on the chopping block.
On the pistol round, you don't have the huge amounts of Sentinel util available to you, so I do like going a bit aggro like that. Nice pistol round from Team Liquid.
Set that up as well, because with this util heavy comp, you're expecting combos like grab
I'm expecting this to be a heavy defense half from Liquid if they play the comp well.
And I think it's important to mention, you know, the agents that we have here.
Taking that fight with the Frenzy's diabolical, it is a bit, isn't it? Peeking tiles over the cat. I don't think he was expecting to see anyone though. I think he was expecting to
good examples. We've also seen poor examples.
See Liquid playing like passive with their comp. But on the pistol, I think it makes less sense to play passive because you don't have overwhelming util advantages. That is not the correct room, Bren. Not at all. Please do not knock on that room.
Serial solo on B right now, I think, has to be the biggest thing in my eyes, because he was in a dangerous position. He now has the support of Patty from Market, and as soon as those steps are heard, the rotation.
We did this when we were in Thailand. We accidentally knocked on the wrong room's door to try to. We were like calling for Bren. We were knocking on his door like, "Hello, can Bren come out and play?" And we fucking knocked. Mimi just ran over and started ringing the doorbell and knocking on this door. And we're like, Mimi, that is the wrong door. That is completely the wrong number.
Stuff like this barrier mesh, which is
I got shouted at by an American tourist family.
The executes that BBL will want to make with the 3 initiators, when the only gap close that you
How
have
can you
is 11 on this Yoru.
Why did you think that was the room that I was in? Did you think it was? Did you think you could hear my voice?
A little more on the fly. Micro still being worked on with a new member, but good enough to get them through 2 rounds unscathed.
We were confident. Very foolish of you. Unlimited Miku, thank you for the 49 months. We deduced. Deduced.
Right now, though, for me, I'm not seeing the strengths of the triple initiators.
You were confident. You were trying to read it based on the room layout. You're insane. You're insane.
You're expecting to be.
You're actually just insane. That is. Yeah, you were cooking nothing with that one. All right, Gravnet deep. Oh my God, what a set play! What a set play! What is going on here? Kiko just paranoid B main. They Gravnetted top mid, trying to let Camo have an opportunity to fight tiles. That is a weird round. Kind of wasting the paranoia though, in my opinion. But all right, Camo finds one. Patty and Cereal kind of lined up for that one. That's
opens up an
a bit rough.
opportunity right now for BBL to manipulate.
And now Kiko has no paranoia.
Right now. He's going to hold off the site as long as he can. Prophet, brilliant position to cut off this rotate.
Can Nats get this kill with a Spectre? With a Ghost!
With a Ghost in hand.
With a Ghost! And now he gets the upgrade to the Vandal. Oh my god, it's so winnable for Team Liquid because Nats just made that play. Oh my god.
Don't want to give a 1v1, and BBL trying to link up the last two remaining.
Sending the genetically modified wolves to you.
Head towards mid for now. No,
I mean, Nats doesn't have to worry about A at all because he's got trips there, he's got cam there. All he has to do is worry about this angle he's on right now and then tap his cam every now and then.
It's going to be difficult to try and break those.
Is your camera inverted?
You're waiting for those salvos to come up on
yes, it is.
Lost the player in B main. That would have been the info, but I guess they've just not managed to get a look on this one yet. So into the traps they go, just sidestepping it. Safe plant gen. That's first point of contact. He will wait for Kiko to arrive.
Yeah, that retake cam used early to identify
Brent,
players.
first of all, you're wrong again. And secondly, please stop doxing me. Or please stop attempting to dox what hotel room I'm in. But like, you're wrong again. What a round from Nats. What a round from Liquid. That was... I'm not sure about the set play at the beginning of the round. I'm not sure. But the way that Nats played that and got that kill with the Ghost just made the whole round winnable. No, Brent. Wrong again. Okay, I'll give you a hint. When I look out my window right now, I'm staring at a window behind my webcam. I can see the gym.
You've got a KO knife on Magnum as well. I think as important as the stealth drone is, that's also something to look at taking it offline.
Don't knock on every door.
Because if you don't know where the Cypher setup is, you come in late round, there's always the threat that Nats is going to put up both cages and take a solo fight dice.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about similarities between what BBL are running and what we've seen elsewhere...
Why are you helping them dox you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Combo. A lot of the combinations were like, you'd see the Gravwell...
I mean, people don't know what hotel it is anyway.
We're not really seeing that from BBL so far.
Fighting for orb control, B main, early doors, BBL.
Wait, someone just sent me a Discord message. Is that Brent?
Weaponry, and it's that lack of investment that gets shown as Camo is able
to use
his outlaw to great effect, 11-1, and then dips away. And I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. I mean, you talk about an identity shift for BBL. They've only played 2 comps on this map since the start of 2023, being the variation of that default Killjoy and Cypher variation.
Yeah, this is the first time we're actually seeing BBL play with this this roster on Ascent, the full time. We've never seen it played in off-season. We've never seen it played up until now.
And that's the same thing where Liquid having lost...
We are looking outside the window. We found you.
Icebox didn't look great coming in against Mates.
Wait, really?
Is Ascent any better? Could this be something which they're able to use as a benefactor on that push back towards top 3 as another spot opens up for Toronto? Look to have bounced back well, having converted
they have found
shut down what is left of this BBL purchase.
They're literally there. They're right there, man. They're right there. Close the window again. Close the window. Close the window.
So unfortunate. It was good on Haven, but not here. Not at this range. Back into the traps. Yampi will go. That buys a little bit of time.
Oh,
it's not quite enough to stop the plant coming in, so
that's so funny.
At the very least. The tallest of tall
Can we see them? No, because I'm worried if I do actually show you the outside, you'll be able to dox me. Although, I really don't think you could, but I'm not going to do that, just in case. But that's funny as fuck. I just scrolled at my blinds, look out the window, and there's Alice just staring, laughing, and pointing at me. Like, actually the fucking point and laugh emote.
As it has been sort of stressed at this point in time, bouncing back from that first series with a new player, pivotal, and as consistent as Camo has been so far.
All right. BBL are now going to have rifles again.
Which isn't what you usually see from him. He is more of a rifle-based player.
Okay, what are they doing with this? They have Teho ult, they have